Welcome to Not Like This. Not Like This. From professional wrestling, horror films, and everything in between. Strap in. And now your hosts, Dale Zawada and Jim Snedeker Jr.
Jim, I have a confession.
Oh, I like this. Is it a juicy confession?
It's a bit juicy.
I want to hear the juice. Drink your juice.
All right, here it is, Jim. I just shot a man, and I did it on purpose. I watched Last Action Hero again, and
Shot him for his shoes.
They killed him for his shoes. I said I murdered a man, and I'd like to confess. Shut up down there.
Yeah. Hey,
Sleep. Oh, what a fun line in a very long movie.
It is longer than you would expect from that type of film.
Yeah.
Cool tones, though. Cool tones, I think.
It's also more boring than it should be.
Yeah,
like
it's
if I explained in detail, like a scene by scene, like that sounds exciting. And you're like, not really.
Yeah, because the action is always the only real action that has stakes is at the end. The other action is just sort of like making fun of action. So it doesn't feel intense. It doesn't feel like a regular Arnold movie.
Yeah. Whereas Scream, whether you're a fan of it or not, is poking fun.
Tons of Arnold.
While still remaining, true to the genre and tone. It's hard to do. It's hard.
Yeah.
And the fucking cartoon Detective Cat shows up at the end of Scream and kills Ghostface.
What I think they really nail in Last Action Hero is like the tone of like scary late 80s, early 90s New York City.
Oh yeah.
Cause like it's terrifying. I'm like, please get it.
Gross.
Please get in the movie. Please get in the movie. Please get in the movie. When he gets robbed by himself. Oh my God. As a 9-year-old kid watching that in the theater.
So here's your home invasion.
Then I'm like, is he gonna molest him now? Like, what's gonna happen? Like the first time I saw it, I'm like, this could get really dark.
The first joke. So the movie starts like a hostage situation, and who walks in but fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger? What's his name? Dexter? Slater.
Jack Slater.
And like he's walking on the cars, and he's gonna go in there, and he's gonna free the hostage and shit. But the chief or whatever on the scene's like, don't let him in. Don't you let him into that building. And there's a cop at the door. And the first time we get an Arnold line and joke, and it's a taste of things to come. Because he says something like, and you might know it better than me, did you want to be a farmer? Here's a couple acres. And he kicks him in the nuts. Yep. And I don't understand this joke. And maybe I'm dumb, but at the same time, if I don't get it, I'm sure there's a lot of other people who didn't appreciate that highbrow humor.
Yeah, acre. Like your balls are gonna ache.
Oh, get the fuck out of here!
Well, is
that the joke? Is that
Here's a couple of acres. Your balls are aching now. Right?
Come on, you get Patton Oswalt. I know he's like
who
12
does the doctor see? Who does the doctor see? Patience? What is the elbow on my jacket doing? Wearing thin? And then he goes, that was a stretch.
Mm-hmm. Fuck. Yeah, there's a lot in there. And this is Shane Black and someone else, so you'd think it'd be tighter.
This is a big budget action movie, though. So there could have been a lot of overruling.
Maybe. But somebody, whoever is responsible for a couple of acres.
2 days till retirement. Get a little Murtaugh line. When the cop gets blown up into the palm tree.
Yeah.
2 days till retirement.
Those are fun.
But yeah, New York. Yeah, it opens with that, and then we find out we're watching a movie with the lead character, Danny Madigan, right? What?
Yep, I think that is right. Just because I watched it doesn't mean I was paying attention. It just means I was kind of watching it. And just going, where's this kid now?
I don't know. Is Danny Madigan the Danny from Ninja Turtles? Shit. No, because Charles... His name's not Madigan.
Off
I think
my
it's
head,
I think it's
Charles.
Daniel Madigan. I'm not sure. I'm not positive.
We'll go with
It's
that.
like a New
We'll go with
Yorkie
that.
Irish name. Sounds right.
Yeah, it matches his fat little chubby face.
And his weird chewed up knuckles.
Oh, God.
His knuckles are all
Oh,
scabby the whole movie.
That was a botch. Watching around the background. Sorry, Dan.
Whoops.
That looked like an elbow. That's gonna need some surgery. Charlotte. So yeah, super long movie though. Last Action Hero. Speaking of long movies, saw one of those today in the theater.
Hold on. We're
All
5
right.
minutes in. You're as a music fan, I have to make it known that Last Action Hero. So there are motion picture soundtracks where it's just pulled from, like, it's a period soundtrack, like Boogie Nights, or like songs from back then. But then there are motion picture soundtracks where most of the songs are exclusive to that soundtrack, at least at the time. And Last Action Hero is one of those. Last Action Hero is probably one of the best hard rock movie soundtracks ever. Ever. We've got Big Gun by AC/DC opens it up. And then What the Hell Have Eyes, track 2 by Alice in Chains. And it's a killer Alice in Chains song. Track 3, Megadeth, Angry Again. Like, you got a Queensryche song on there that's okay. It's like the dramatic strings and stuff song, like a kind of lame Def Leppard ballad song. But you got another Alice in Chains song on there called A Little Bitter. I mean, it's just a fucking, you got an Anthrax song, Poison My Eyes. I mean, it's a wicked fucking hardcore soundtrack.
Boys in my eyes.
Poison My Eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do any of those songs
Poison
make it into the movie, or are they just
They're,
like
they're
here's a
almost all.
soundtrack?
This is the coolest part. They're almost all in the movie.
That's good.
The Tesla has a song called Last Action Hero, and in the movie that's the Jack Slater theme, but they just replaced Last Action Hero in the chorus with Jack Slater. So like that, the song that like when the movie starts to skip, when Slater 3 starts to like fuck up, that's Last Action Hero by Tesla playing in the movie. But yeah, most of the songs make it in the movie. Like Cock the Hammer by Cock the Hammer. Now Cock the Hammer by Cypress Hill is on that album that's got Insane in the Brain on it, I think. So that's an album track. But I think that's playing when they walk up to the LA police station. So like, yeah, it's cool. They fit him in. Buckethead's song on the end is like the chase. No, that's the Queensryche song. What, the New York chase, where the cab thing, and it sort of ends with that acoustic little thing when he looks up and sees the billboard. That's all in that song, the Queensryche song, and it's like it's very theatrical sounding, But the Buckethead song is Michael Kamen doing the orchestration and conducting the orchestra, and that's the music when he's on the rooftop with the Ripper.
The Ripper.
Yep.
Rip 'em.
Yep. So it is a great soundtrack. They work it into the movie. It just recently, like 6 months ago, was Def Leppard allowed their catalog to be on streaming services. So you can listen to the soundtrack now from start to finish. It used to just skip over their song on the soundtrack and it would fuck up my groove. But check it out if you haven't. The Last Action Hero soundtrack. It's blistering hard rock.
Get your groove.
And it's sort of like the last hurrah for a lot of those bands in the mainstream like that. Like it's like the last big mainstream song that you're gonna hear from Anthrax or fucking Tesla. Or
what
any
about
of these
Alice
bands.
in Chains?
No, they went on to be like even
Still.
more gigantic than that.
They're like, dude, this is nothing.
But they're unique because they have 2 songs on the soundtrack.
You are like the buzzing of flies to him.
It's Vigo. And then our guy, Tommy Noonan, our guy is the Ripper.
Mm-hmm.
Plays Frankenstein's monster in Monster Squad.
Mm-hmm.
He's that weird, fucking creepy guy in that babysitter killer Satan movie we watched. What's that called?
Halloween?
No, like it's like a takes place in the early 80s, but it's a newer horror movie where she goes to like this weird house to babysit or something, and he's like the dad, and they're like satanic or some shit. We watched it on the old show.
Is that the one? I know what you're talking about. What the fuck? It does not.
It's
matter.
like
It doesn't
something
matter.
like the Devil's Babysitter. It's like something weird.
Yeah.
So you saw another movie.
Fuck,
I didn't want to end the last Action Hero talk without squeezing in me putting over the soundtrack because it's awesome.
Yeah, I think you've done that a number of times whenever we bring this movie.
Yeah, and it's gonna happen every fucking time.
You're like, just so everyone knows, this soundtrack is awesome. But here's why. Went to the theater today to see It Chapter 2. Chapter 2.
Just watched It Chapter 1 again this weekend, and I didn't want to because we talked about how the scenes with Georgie, they kill me, right? Because they're like the same age as our boys, apart. And it was like I would try and not watch it, and I could feel when the Georgie scenes were on, and I was like drawn to the TV and had to watch. But I rewatched it it held up on the small screen better than I thought it would. So tell me about It Chapter 12.
Well, you'll be uncomfortable during some of the Georgie scenes in this one as well, I'd imagine, because there's some good ones, some heart-wrenching stuff, some real like that stuff obviously didn't bother me in the first movie. I don't have children, anything like that. So it was just a story being presented. But even the scenes in this one, I was like, oh, this is so sad.
Really? So they bring him. That character is, I'm assuming, still a little kid.
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot. Even though this is the one with the adults. The kids still get plenty of fucking screen time. Plenty of screen time with little flashbacks and stuff. Because essentially the movie, and I don't remember if the movie from the 90s or even the book is like this, but it's just like we've seen a lot from the 80s. Now they're adults, but here are a couple things from the 80s we didn't show you. Some secret scenes. And I was like, oh shit, this is awesome.
Oh, like some flashback things?
Yeah. And they're like, meanwhile, this was happening down the street. I'm like, oh fuck. Cool. It was good. I saw some of the scores and stuff a couple days ago, and they weren't too hot at the time. It was like mid 70s or something like that. It Chapter 2, Rotten Tomatoes. I just wonder if it's gone up.
That sounds like fake typing, but whatever.
It did. But it was real. 64%. Audience says 80%, that makes more sense.
That's a big gap.
It's enjoyable. I don't understand why the critics are being the way they are. It is 3 hours. So maybe they're like, I had to pee. I had to pee. I'm 56 years old. And your movie's so long.
That is long for a It movie.
It is. And whenever I watch one of these movies that I know is long, I watch it going, what could they cut? Like what do we need that? Could we do without that? And there was a lot in here where I'm just like, yeah, it'd suck to kind of lose that. Because here's the movie. Here's the skeleton. No spoilers. I was just giving you the framework.
Don't spoil me. Probably going to see it at the theater.
Most maybe I don't want to spoil things then.
Just be non-spoiler friendly. Just give me.
Here we go. But if you're even remotely familiar with the framework of the story,
yes,
they're getting the band back together as adults.
Correct.
This shit's going down in Derry again. They're like, ah, fuck.
Well, they made a pact. They made a blood oath. If this happens again in 27 years, we come back and we deal with it.
And they go back.
Fucking course it comes back.
They're like, well, now what? What do we fucking do? And one of the characters is like, oh, I know exactly what to do. I've been working. And it's like, we got to get these fucking like artifact item things. We each have this item in our life that we need to get, and we're going to put them together, and we're going to piss on them, and that's going to do a thing.
Piss on them.
So a lot of it's just like hunting down these MacGuffins. Like, we all got our MacGuffin. Let's go find them.
Like Infinity Stone time travel thing.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just wondering, could we have cut some of this? Because the initial scenes are here's this character as an adult. Hey, here's this character as an adult. Here's this character as an adult. And part of me is thinking, yeah, I mean, we do kind of need that. But does it have to be this way? Could we have combined it in a way where we could save some time? Could we have started in Derry? It's still fine. It's just these are the things that happen when I watch these movies. Still very enjoyable. I still like those scenes. You know, this character as an adult. This is where they're at. I overall I liked it. Bill Hader is in the film, playing the role of Bill Hader.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. The humor in this doesn't land.
They try really hard to make him the funny guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's sort of what they do in the original too. Like he's like, you're the funny, jokey guy.
Yeah, but there's at least chemistry there. This one's just like, why is Bill Hader with the Losers Club? Why is does he wander onto the wrong set? Why is Bill Hader here? It just seemed like
I get you.
Characters in this, and then this actors also here. Other than that, I fucking liked it a lot. I'll probably get the DVD Blu-ray when it comes out and they combine them into one massive movie.
I'm sure they're
I'll
gonna
watch
do
the
that
shit out of
shit.
that.
You know,
So, yeah,
the original miniseries is so long and it's jumpy that I don't remember. I thought they start as adults and it like flashes back to when they're kids.
they do. That is what happens.
Okay.
I watched it earlier today before I
It's
went.
fucking long.
It is very long. And if you try to watch it on demand on Xfinity, there's about 2 hours of commercials. There's like, here's half a scene and Kleenex.
Jesus Christ.
It's Kleenex. Get your Kleenex.
Yeah, Lois Lane's in that Lana Lang, from Superman 3.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, Annette O'Toole.
Ed O'Neill.
No, not Annette O'Toole. Yeah, Ed O'Neill.
Another film that I saw in theaters, Ready or Not.
Here I come, you can't hide. I'm gonna find you and make you want me. Ready or not, here I. You remember that old Fuji song?
I remember that. Lauryn Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Lauryn Hill. And they should have used that song because you could really use those lyrics because she's trying to run and hide and being caught, all this kind of stuff.
I'll find you.
Ready or Not. If you like the movie The Babysitter, which is on Netflix, it's this horror comedy number. Same actress, which is why I was like, this is like her shtick, and she's really good at it, and she's got this energy that I just can't get enough of.
Ooh,
I am in love with this woman.
Ooh.
I'll watch her in anything, especially this.
Come be on the show.
Friend, I'll be a friend. But yeah, I'll watch her in anything, and especially a horror comedy, that area. That's her niche, and it's awesome. It's a weird, simple story. Ready or Not, she marries into this rich family. They're like this. They own like a board game legacy. Like the Milton Brothers sort of thing. Like that's where their money comes from. But they have this tradition. It's like, well, if you marry in, you have to draw a card, and if you get this card, it's hide and seek, but we gotta kill you. Hope you don't get that one. Oh, you got it. That's the movie's beginning. And like that's kind of it. There's a couple wrinkles in there to where that actually somewhat makes sense, but that's like the gist of the premise, and it's enjoyable. There's a lot of gore. There's a lot of violence. A lot of laughs.
You like that? You like the gore?
I love those are my three things that I like:
violence, laughs,
gore, and laughs. Yeah, that's my live, laugh, love.
So, do you recommend this movie?
I do recommend it. Especially if you've seen that movie, The Babysitter, because you'll know what you're getting. It's like that's their tone. Directed
by McG, The Babysitter.
Yeah. So imagine my surprise when I fired this up, just like I'm gonna watch this bad movie and I'm gonna do one of those things, and I'm like, this is fucking enjoyable. Like McG, you've done it again.
McG had a lot of input in the original sort of Supernatural launch. He was like an executive producer. He was in he's in an episode that's pretty funny. plays himself, and they're like PAs on a they're like fake PAs on a movie.
I've seen that episode.
I like it. It's entertaining. He pokes fun at himself. McG. That's where we all know his name from, though. Hearing that name. What if I trash your lights? What if I fuck up your lights?
Like, how can you be so mad and say McG and keep that anger?
Yeah, like you can't
did
say...
you hear the stupid shit you just said? Scuba Dops. No, I'm smiling now. Because your name's McG.
Muffin Bottom. Is he really going to do...
Muffin Bottom. When you hire these people, Muffin Bottom. Oh.
Imagine when Warrior changed his name to Warrior. Same scenario. Well, Mr. Warrior, I guess.
Yep. Jim,
yeah.
There's a petition. I know you've got some topics this week, which I'm really excited about. But I just want to talk real quick about a petition to recast original Tommy Doyle actor for Halloween Kills.
Okay.
And we all know these petitions
are hilarious.
Get shit done.
Do they?
They get shit done. According to petition.org, their petitions have a 79% success rate.
What do they? High. Okay, what do they define as a success? Getting the wishes
not failure.
Up. Okay. Is this a petition.org petition?
Sure.
Or is it like a screenjizzer.com?
Yeah, that's a change.org. They're on it. They're on that shit. They want Brian Andrews.
Is he an actor anymore?
Is he alive? Start there. Change.org.
No one's looked into it that far.
I don't think they have. All right.
Okay.
This is gonna be a sad one.
Is he dead?
He's alive. He's alive. 53. All right. Thank God.
Well, the original Lindsay is playing Lindsay, according to the rumors. So I would imagine that they're around the same age. Right?
Yeah, it's like get him. He must have said if they went to the original. If they went to the original Lindsay and they got her, you have to think they went to him and he said no. He seems to have still be acting. He's acting as far as 2007. Maybe he did retire. This is now a story that interests me. Like, why? Who said no to this?
This does thicken a bit, doesn't it? Because this wouldn't be like completely unheard of, right? That someone that's just like, I'm not really an actor. I don't do this, and I don't want to do this. And it's a big franchise, so we see it as like, why wouldn't they do this? Mm-hmm. I can't really think of an example off the top of my head right now, but there are people that just sort of move on, and they don't pursue that as a career, really.
You know, the actress that plays Lindsay's like, fuck yes. I was on the Slutty Housewives of Toronto or whatever the fuck.
And,
like,
yes. she looks the part. Yeah, I ain't mad at her. Brian Andrews, though, there's also like I mentioned last episode, she still kind of looks like Lindsay would look in our minds, right? But there is sort of like a Edward Furlong approach of this where, yeah, Edward Furlong looks like a 13-year-old kid in T2. Let's make T3. How old does he look? About 16. Yeah, we need him to look like an adult. So this guy...
So maybe they didn't like his plumber aesthetic?
Maybe he doesn't look anything like the original character.
I mean, he doesn't. I mean, you can kind of see it in the eyes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but... I mean, he's older. He's fucking 53.
Can you imagine? Okay. Can you imagine? How would you react if next week we come on the show and I'm like, breaking news, you haven't heard about it yet, but they cast Tommy Doyle. It's Paul Rudd. Would you come?
Probably.
I mean,
Probably.
just for
It's
the
weird
sole
because-
fact that, like, why touch that movie?
Especially canon-wise, like they're not connected at all
No.
anymore. So it's like you don't have to do that. This, if you wanted to play that, we're bringing the originals back. It's like there is no original Tommy Doyle except for the guy in the first movie.
Yeah.
Because 6 is this timeline that we are kayfabing.
Correct.
But still, it would still be pretty fucking cool. But then I'm worried that it's going to be a Bill Hader situation.
Oh, it definitely would. It'd turn into a Paul Rudd movie.
Ah, fuck.
Paul
yeah.
Rudd in the other
Oof.
in comedy lady, other comedy funny person movie lady. Judy Greer. It would just turn into a rom-com.
Oh, I would watch, and he's dead. The husband's dead. So
Yeah.
he could.
They totally could. Like, can you imagine if they could just parallel make 2 movies? One to do justice and one just for us.
That's actually what Halloween Kills is. He's like, I'm gonna kill that pussy. Tell you that. And then it's like Halloween ends. Here's actually Michael Myers.
I understand about continuity and all this stuff, but if you're gonna push that hard to get Tommy Doyle in here, I'm telling you, get her in there somewhere. Danielle Harris, I'm sure she'd play a janitor or something. Anyway,
I wouldn't be surprised
this is like
if they're kayfabing that. If they're like, yeah, of course we're gonna try to bring her in. We like they seem legit, they're fans. But that maybe that's something you don't announce. Maybe that's something, because who's gonna pop for that except for fucking 3 guys in Illinois? Who gives a shit? So it's like, yeah,
I think tens of people on the internet would pop for that. Especially, here's why. She would want to do it. Like they wouldn't approach her about it, and she'd be like, I don't know, guys. She'd be like, I'd love to do another Halloween.
Yeah, she's not gonna fucking Tommy Doyle these guys. No.
There was she was like campaigning for herself on the internet to play Judy Greer's role.
Yeah.
I know it's a different story, but like,
it would have been so much better.
I'd be playing her daughter again. And it wouldn't. It's not going to confuse anyone. Like you said, 10 guys online will know. Thousands upon thousands, but
nobody's ever heard of this movie Halloween. So I thought maybe if
we reshoot the entire first movie,
maybe they'll remember that way. Then
John Carpenter's like, bro, is this really happening right now?
Did you just say that to me? Because wasn't the next line where like the John Carpenter was like, "Nah, we're all right."
He was like, "I don't think you need to do that," or something.
Yeah,
like
that was it.
I was like, give the audience more credit or something. Like, I think they've seen it.
Yeah, he was polite about it.
You're remaking a movie I made for $300,000 40 years ago. I think it made an impact.
Fucking schmuck.
I'm already starting to have dreams about the next movies, which is a good sign for me. Dale.
Jim.
We almost started talking, like I even brought up Danielle Harris again. It was turning into last week all over again. It was crazy. It's just what that's the power Halloween has over us. Now, I was at work the other day. Someone saw my lock screen on my computer, which is Michael Myers. Now, this person mentioned, hey, did you hear the original Michael Myers is going to be at a haunted house in somewhere in Illinois? I forget where it was. It wasn't Rock Island, but it was like Rock City or something like that. I didn't look it up. So I was like, oh, cool, interesting. Now, Dale, when you hear the original Michael Myers, who do you think of instantly?
I think of that goofy motherfucker. I forgot his name, but I know he's like the class clown. What's his name?
The class clown. He was the tenor singer in the Coupe de Villes. He sang the Big Trouble in Little China theme with John Carpenter. He wrote and directed Major Payne.
Damn.
He wrote The Last Starfighter. Nick Castle.
Nick Castle
Was a buddy of John Carpenter's.
Impressive.
And John Carpenter John Carpenter said, hey, he's like, well, what do you want me to do to be this scary guy? He's like, you walk like a serial killer, so just wear a mask. He's like, you want me to do like a, nope, just, you know how you normally walk? That terrifies everyone. Just walk like that. That's Michael Myers. The walk, the head tilt, the murders, all this. Now, if you remember from the credits, I do. If you remember from the credits in Halloween, there are 2 characters listed. Well, there are several. There's Michael Myers at age 6. There's Michael Myers at age, I believe in the credits, they mistype it as age 23, which he's 21.
Ooh, bad math.
And then there is The Shape. Now, Nick Castle plays The Shape. The Shape is the silhouette we see, the walking, the murdering, the mask. Michael Myers, age 21, is the one shot at the end where Laurie Strode peels the mask off. We see Michael Myers' face. That is a man named Tony Moran. The mask goes back on. It's Nick Castle again. The guy who sits up after getting stabbed in the neck, Nick Castle. Pulls the mask off, chokes her, Tony Moran, mask on, shot him 6 times, falls out. Nick Castle.
Oh, you know that shit's Nick Castle.
Tony Moran is going to be at a haunted house in Illinois. Now, it's not uncool. Like, it's cool. You're Tony Moran. You're the guy. We saw your fucking weird-looking eye that got poked with the coat hanger. And then that mask goes back on, and then you're not him anymore.
For that brief window in time.
And it's not a gotcha. I mean, if you get technical, Nick Castle is not credited as Michael Myers. He's credited as The Shape in the credits. But when we think Michael Myers, who did they bring back for Halloween 2018 for a couple shots? They brought back.
I think it was Tony Moran.
It was Nick Castle. They wanted that guy that had that walk, that had that tilt, the person that was just being himself and created this iconic character. He's not at the haunted house. It's Tony Moran. So anybody that's all wet in the drawers about this, I just letting you know.
Taper your expectations.
Don't drive 14 hours or wherever this place is in Illinois and go to this haunted house thinking you're seeing the man, the myth, the legend, Nick Castle, singer of the Coupe de Villes, and The Shape. You're seeing Tony Moran.
So here's the most interesting part of all of this. I love the idea of these horror icons, legends, whatever, just getting a little payday at some haunted houses.
I am not mad at him.
Oh,
and if this was like a place that's close to me, I would go see Tony Moran at the haunted house.
Yeah,
like
14 hours. No, but yeah.
Like, I'm sure he had the mask on at some point. You know, he's wearing the cut. He was in the movie. I watched him. You know, I am not mad at him at all. I'm not mad at the haunted house. Everything is legit. He is Michael Myers in the original Halloween. But I just think people should know. Like, my mom would just assume it's the same guy in the whole movie. And I just don't want people, you know, talking to someone at a bar and like, yeah, it was a lifelong dream. I met the guy that was Michael Myers. It's like, you know, you kind of did. I mean, I would pop harder if it was the little kid that played 6-year-old Michael Myers.
Yeah, I think I'd pop for that too.
You know, but don't get it twisted. I'm not upset at this guy. I don't think this is a scam. I am not pissed off at all. I just want to do a public service announcement because I've been hearing. Okay, so I heard from a random person at work that just said, "Did you hear blah 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 this rumor?" And then my wife posted a link on Facebook, and it says original Michael Myers actor blah blah blah. Click on the link. It's Tony Moran. It would be
what
like.
What was your response? What was your response when you saw the name?
I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you exactly. I will pull it up on Facebook right now. Okay, and I will tell you my exact response because it's important to me. He was, you know what? I'll look. If I look it up by her and go here, this is important. because you know how much this shit means to me. Like it's unhealthy. My bandmate and co-writer Scott knows how badly I care about this, right? I loved my reaction was love on the post.
Mm-hmm. Then you clicked it.
And there's 2 comments on her post that were tagged in. The first comment says, "Oh, it's Tony Moran." The second comment right after that, immediately after, in all caps, is, "Guys, it's just Tony Moran. Everyone relax." Now, nobody else commented on this. It wasn't.
Everyone relax.
I'm just letting everyone know it's just Tony Moran. So don't. If this was George P. Wilbur, the only man to play Michael Myers other than Nick Castle, he had that brief cameo in 2018, but when he did it, he had been the only person to ever play Michael Myers in 2 movies, I would be there. I don't know if he's still alive. Tony Moran, it's Rock Falls. He'll be available for autograph signings, meet and greets, fans, blah blah blah. Cool. Meeting the man. So if you ever dreamed of meeting the man himself, it's the way the article presents it. It's like, whoa, okay. I'll give you an example.
Is it a hype job? Is it a local paper trying to get some hype for their local event?
Yeah, it was like 97QWX the jam, or it's like a radio station article.
The Falls, Rock Falls. That's a good fucking city name. I'll tell you that.
Oh
Rock
yeah.
Falls. You're
listening to the Rock and Rock Falls. Imagine this, okay, Dale?
I'm imagining.
Now some of it's a little spoiler, is a little spoiled for people because Christopher Reeve is dead. But imagine if I said original Superman actor to appear at autograph signing, and then I told you it was the guy that plays the little toddler Superman in the beginning.
That'd be hilarious.
Wouldn't you be
I'd
like
be upset? I'd be furious.
You'd be like, come on. But Christopher Reeve's dead.
Don't lie to me.
Okay. So here's one. I got a better one.
I got one too.
Let me give you this one because Christopher Reeve's dead, so that's not fair. Like everyone would know that it's not Christopher Reeve. Original Batman '89 Bruce Wayne actor is going to be at this appearance. You would immediately think Michael Keaton, and it's the little kid Bruce Wayne who sees his parents die.
Oh, of course,
right?
Of course.
That's what this is, right?
Yeah. What about the actor who plays Darth Vader? It's going to be here.
David Prowse.
Yeah, they get David Prowse there
instead of James Earl Jones. Mm-hmm. That's a good one. But you could, when you're selling that, you could be like, look, this is the only guy that was ever under the hood as Darth Vader.
Yeah, that pale motherfucker. This is him.
That's not the voice. Well, it's not the pale guy either. That's a third
it's not
guy.
Jesus Christ.
That's
not even
David,
the pale
that's
guy.
That's not David Prowse. But
David Prowse, what did you do?
But like the guy pointing his finger at people is David Prowse. That body in the suit.
Oh, he could wag a finger.
And he was in, the first 3 movies. So you could sell it harder. It would be like if you said original Darth Vader actor and it was the guy who we only see his like weird old head for like 2 shots.
I want to see what that guy looks like.
I'm sure he's dead. I was
curious about him. He's super dead, but still.
It would be like, I'll give you a nerdy one, a super nerdy one, and this is going to be way too inside baseball for people. Do you remember, you're aware of the television series Knight Rider, right? With Kit, David Hasselhoff plays Michael Knight, drives around that black Trans Am talks and shit. In the pilot episode, he is not Michael Knight. That's not his real name. Okay. His name's Michael Long. And he gets shot in the face.
Ooh.
So he gets plastic surgery to look like this rich, like arms dealer guy, to look like his son. But you don't know that in the pilot.
Hey,
but the guy who plays Michael Long in the beginning of the show is a complete different actor. It's not David Hasselhoff. They give him plastic surgery to make him look like David Hasselhoff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Michael Knight for the rest of the series. It would be like if you were like original, Michael Knight actor is going to be, you'd be like, oh, it's David Hasselhoff. And it's just the guy that's in the first 2 scenes or something. They got you. They got you on a little technicality.
Hey, carnies are gonna carny, you know. And that's one thing I love about the haunted houses. I was just like, the carny vibe.
Well, here's
DIY carny.
It smelled of Tony Moran right away for me, because Nick Castle
Recognition?
Well, no, Nick Castle seems like the guy that probably they were like, hey, can you please come back for a couple shots as Michael Myers? Because he didn't come back for the second movie. He didn't play Michael Myers. He wasn't even an actor, really. You know, he had like no interest in coming back and doing any of this shit. So for him to be at a haunted house doing autograph signings, I'm like, come on, the man sang on the Coupe de Ville's hit Big Trouble in Little China. He wouldn't go to a haunted house and Illinois.
People do the fucking the con circuits. And it's just like, this is just like a seasonal one, especially like local. Like this motherfucker
Super
lives
local.
in Rock Falls. Let's not pretend he's like being flown in.
I hope so.
He lives down the fucking street.
And that makes it even better. I hope he's from the area. That's so cool if that's the case.
Yeah.
I don't know that it is.
But I'm curious though. But yeah, I just love the idea of get some celebs out here. Get some horror celebs. Give them a little payday, meet and greet, all that stuff. Autograph, photo up. You know, just do that. They make their change. It's cool for the fans. And in that environment, because there's nothing like weirder. It's like, here's this horror actor with these bright lights at Comic-Con, and it's like, you know, that mystique is kind of gone. But you get, you know, a fucking Sid Haig in the spooky elements of a haunted house, and it's like, yeah, he's not a frail old man. He's a fucking murderer. I love it.
Yeah, again, if you're in the area, go check it out. Don't make a road trip thinking this is Nick Castle, please.
So you don't want to drive an hour and 51 minutes with me?
I would drive an hour and 51 minutes to meet Nick Castle and bring a vinyl copy of the Coupe de Ville's album and have him sign it. Okay, so if those of you that have heard Big Trouble in Little China, you know the theme song at the end, the low, deep voice, that's John Carpenter. The high tenor voice, that is the guy who played Michael Myers in the first Halloween, singing that shit. Remember that forever. No, I'm not going to drive. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're not going to join me?
I won't join you for that. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
So... it's PSA. I had a moment Friday. We had a Dad Bod show Friday, by the way, 18th Street Brewery in Gary. And it went pretty well. Was it like the last time at this place, the same venue? Like a low key crowd, a lot of conversations. So I tried to keep the volume kind of low in the beginning. I wasn't belting belty parts. I was just trying to be background music for a few songs just to get people warmed up. And then by the end of the night, everyone was super into it. We fucking played Freebird, okay? Now, let me tell you how many times I've ever played Freebird in my life. Never.
Oh.
Let me tell you how many times I've sung it live. Not once. But Justin knows it on guitar, and it was someone's birthday. They put a tip in the tip jar, and then they said, he likes, play him a Southern rock song. I'm like, what the fuck do we play? And Justin's like, Sweet Home Alabama. We're like, I don't know. I don't know any on guitar. So I said, Justin, if you know one on guitar, I'll just pull up the lyrics and sing it. He's like, Freebird. And we'll stop right before the 15-minute guitar solo. So I'm singing it. It's going well. It's going well. I'm singing Freebird. We're getting to the solo at the end, and I grab my guitar. I'm like, I got to play the guitar solo because that I know.
Oh, shit.
The main hooks of that guitar solo, I know that part.
Did you just do a run-in on your own match?
I did. That glass broke, and I came out there and fucking played the guitar solo. And people were like, "Damn!" Hilarious. It seemed like we had played it once or twice, not once ever. It went well. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Before that, I went to Guitar Center to pick up some stuff. Okay, there's no music stores anywhere close to my house. I have to go to Guitar Center for everything. I'm in Guitar Center.
What city is yours in?
Hobart, Indiana, Maryville, like South Lake Mall.
Gotcha.
So I'm at the Guitar Center. There's this couple there. They're probably in their mid 40s to mid 50s. It's hard to tell. Some people do hard living, and you can't tell how old they are.
Hard times, Daddy.
Yeah, they're both playing guitar. She's not really playing as much as he is. He is playing so fucking loud, I have to walk away because it's hurting my ears, and nobody is saying anything to him.
It's too loud.
He's clearly not buying anything, and he doesn't practice much. So it's not like someone really good playing loudly, which would still bother me in a retail store. It's somebody that's kind of bad playing loudly. So I get my stuff. I'm walking around. I'd be really early if I go right to the venue at this point. So I go in the acoustic room, Guitar Center. It's their own closed off little room. Like maybe there's an acoustic in here I can jangle on, and then I'm blocked a little bit from that noise out there. I'm in the acoustic room. There's a guy sitting down playing an acoustic. Now, here's where it gets tricky. He could have been anywhere from 16 to 25 years old.
All right.
Because, as you know, when you're in high school, there's the dude that looks like an adult already at 16. And then sometimes there's the 22-year-old guy that looks young, like he could still be in high school. So I don't really know, right? But let's say he's almost high school senior age. He's playing some Avenged Sevenfold songs, right? I'm like, okay, yeah, some newer stuff, right? He's playing it. I'm like, oh yeah, he's playing all these. He knows a bunch of these songs from City of Evil, which was like their big commercial breakout album. I'm like, yeah, newer stuff. Yeah, I wasn't really playing newer stuff at Guitar Center when I was his age. I was playing old stuff. I was playing Metallica. And I thought about it for 1 minute. It's 2019. He's playing something from an album that came out 14 years ago.
He's playing that old shit.
He's playing the old shit, Dale, and it felt new to me. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember.
Oh no.
I remember being able to drink a beer listening to this album when it first came out. And I'm like, wait, when I was 16 and it was the year 2000 and I was playing riffs from Master of Puppets, they were the old shit. Avenged Sevenfold is the old shit now, Dale?
Yeah, I still can. Yeah, when I hear that, I'm like, yeah, those new kids.
Yeah, I'm fucking old. Like he's like, yeah, this shit really changed things when it came out. Like that's how I felt about Metallica in the 80s, that era, And he's probably thinking like nobody listens to this old shit anymore, but I'm gonna play it. And that's how I would have thought about Metallica in 99 or 2000. And I'm like, God damn, I'm fucking that old now? What happened to me, Dale?
Father time.
What happened?
You're jobbing to Father time.
Right? God, Jesus. It just doesn't feel that old. It's not that. It just came out. Man, I'm only. Yeah, you're only. But you know what? I'm not too old for this shit.
Good.
And you are not too old for your shit. So how's bass guitar coming along?
Bass guitar's coming along.
Now you're rocksmithing it, correct?
I'm doing a lot of rocksmith.
Did we talk about this on the show last week, or is this just offline?
We did not.
Okay.
We just talked about it on AIM.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just I'm doing a lot of beginner stuff. Just trying to stay with it, 'cause that's always the thing for me.
Now, is Rocksmith just teaching you songs, or is there like exercises that has you do?
They have lessons in there.
Okay.
They also have like little mini games.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like work on technique while you're actually trying to, do this other weird game aspect.
And it probably does it in time. It's like set to a metronome.
Ooh, probably didn't notice that. That makes sense though.
Yeah, I'm sure if it's trying to get you to hit things at a certain spot.
I gotta get you to look at my action though, Jim.
I will look. I want to check out your action and see how high it's riding up on you. Yeah, that's a common thing with any beginner fretted instrument is they're usually not set up optimally right out of the box, because I'm not going to get into it. But they're just not, because the tolerances, like if you're buying a $3,000 custom-made guitar, it can be a really tight tolerance. You know, everything's dialed in and level perfectly and checked and rechecked and all this by a master builder. When you're buying a beginner even like a mid-level instrument, sometimes even like a almost $1,000 guitar, it's built like the initial setup is kind of shitty because all the notes will make sound everywhere on the neck and all that stuff. Nothing's gonna like fret out or have like a dead spot, right? So you always can get it dialed in to play easier and sound better. Guaranteed. Any beginner instrument can be tweaked to be better than it is when you got it out of the box.
Guaranteed.
It's like guns. Like, the 1911 platform. You can buy like a GI model that's just like olive green, and it's sort of kind of loose tolerances because, it's not won't jam up as much. But then these 1911 race gun competition guns, everything's super tight and fits together like perfectly because it's like a race car. It's got to be machined perfectly so everything glides smoothly so you can get the tolerances tighter. And on the regular production guns, you can't. Shit's got to work without jamming, so it's just sort of got a looser feel. It's kind of like that. I don't know if that makes any sense.
So it's going along well.
Good.
Jim, I will keep everyone updated.
Now
It's frustrating because, like I'm saying, it's not making the notes. It should be something like when I get my fret hand going, I'm like, that's not even a sound. Like that's not a thing.
Might not be you.
I'm hoping.
Is it like in some spots it does, in some spots it doesn't?
Or I'm just like, am I holding this too hard with my left finger? I don't think I am. Let me try it this way. Nope. Let me try it this way. Nope. Let me try it this way. Nope. I think it might be you.
So, what if you switch into a different spot on the neck? Then it'll sound okay.
Depends. I think.
Okay.
Depends.
I really want to. You know what? Hit me up after the show.
Sure.
I want to check this thing out. Either I got to come to you, or we'll meet at an Oasis halfway in between, like it's Craigslist. Something. I could bring my little tool bag over to your house. I could put it right in my toolbox.
Ooh.
And we'll check it out because now you got my curiosity going. Because what you're describing sounds like an instrument fretting out. So if the neck, like in a perfect world, the neck could be almost perfectly straight and everything would sound okay. If the neck has a bow in it where the fingerboard is higher up than the nut in the bridge, so they call that a front bow, then you'll have spots where you fret it isn't what you hear. It's actually touching a fret somewhere else higher on the neck because there's a bend in the neck. You know what I mean? Like it's hitting it's like if you were on a hill and you're trying to look to the other side of the hill. Well, you can't see through the hill. If you press down and the neck has a back bow in it, it's going to hit a fret higher than where you're trying to fret. And a lot of times it's not going to fret that note cleanly. It'll just sort of clink out on you, just like bing, like not even make a sound. That's kind of what you're describing. And that's not a big issue to fix.
Oh,
they put rods inside the necks. You can turn the rod and it'll bend the neck one way or the other.
I just got to crank it.
Got to crank it. It's called a truss rod, Dale. I'm glad you asked what it's called. Leo Fender initially didn't put truss rods in the old Fender guitars.
Didn't.
But these guys that were playing in the fucking murky, humid swamplands of the South were like, hey, man, this humidity's fucking with my guitars. You got to put a truss rod in here, Leo. And he's like, fine. He's from California. It's like 72 all the time. And dry. We'll get you straightened out. And you'll be rocksmithing it.
Guitar history with Jim.
It could be its own Patreon episode.
Oh, yeah, that's that's a winner.
Could
Get
be.
that exclusive content. You know, we got more movies to watch. We've got more wrestling pay-per-views to watch. It's not gonna be Last Action Hero for those movies because that shit was 3 hours long. Fuck. 'Cause we were considering it. We were like, hey,
We
what
were.
about Last Action? Nope.
Yeah, because we
No.
both had it on DVD.
Mm.
Jack Slater.
Next week, I'm gonna bring a story that just fucking tickled me to death.
Hmm.
But there's no way I can start it now. But it's so
Can you
good.
tease us? Give us a teaser.
It's been a while since we talked about bears, Jim.
Oh boy. Okay, that's about all the. Wait. Not the Chicago Bears, right?
Hey, maybe I'm doing me. Yeah, maybe I'm being punny.
Maybe there's a double.
We don't know.
Yeah, it's been a while since we talked
Never
about
know.
bears, and they're fucking
there's a-
terrifying.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So yeah, a little tease for next week. Otherwise, you got anything else, Jim? Before we plug it up?
I do not this week.
Not this
I
week.
think I rambled quite long enough for everyone's tastes.
Oh, so good. Just gotta watch the
Guys,
volume.
it's just Tony Moran. Please calm down. Relax.
It's just I love this post, but it's just Tony Moran. Ooh, let me see where he's from. Let me see where this guy's from. You know, there's like 800. Oh wow, Rock Falls was the first fucking thing. I'm just gonna research this later because I'm gonna go down a weird fucking rabbit hole. I could already
Yeah,
see
you
this.
are.
This guy looks like a Cardi. Follow me on Instagram at Dale Zawada, and YouTube page, same thing, Dale Zawada. We're gonna have some new stuff on there soon, hopefully.
That I can't wait to see.
That's me.
You can follow me on Instagram at JamesJRMusic. You can follow DadBod on Facebook at facebook.com/DadBodLive. And those are the best places to reach me.
This was episode 88. Thanks for listening. I'm Bill Hader.
I'm Tony Moran.
It's just Tony Moran.